will start to check the gerunds. So first, what is a gerund? So easy. So in this case, the gerunds, you use it a lot of times. Is, for example, when you have this kind of words with ing. For example, you have the word play, and you write it with ing. It's playing, and that is a gerund. Playing is a gerund, and play is a verb in a base form. Now, the way that you have to write it exists a lot of rules that you have to follow, and I explain you in this case. So the first rule that you have is when the word finish with the letter E. What happened with the word finish with letter E? The only thing that you have to do is erase the letter E and write the words ing. For example, imagine that you have the word vote. If you want to write it with ing, you have to write voting. So you erase the letter E and you add ing. Another example, decide. So you don't have to write, you have to erase the letter E and you have to write ing. Deciding. So that is. Now, you have a lot of exceptions. Well, just two. For example, when you finish with the words with double E, the thing that you have to do is maintain the letter E. Both is. For example, if you have the word see, if you write it sing, it's incorrect. You don't have to write it in that way. So you have to write sing like this. Okay? Another exception that you have is, for example, when you finish with the words I and after E. For example, if you write lie, it's incorrect if you say like this. No. When you have the letters I and E together, the thing that you have to do is replace it for letter Y. For example, you have to write lying. In other case, for example, if you have die, you have to write dying, like this. So those are the two exceptions when you have to finish with letter E. Now, another. The second rule that you have in this case, this is when you have the sandwich rule. The sandwich. So, what is a sandwich? So remember, in the case of a sandwich, you have the bread, you have the ham or the jelly or whatever thing that you want to put, and after you have a bread. So that happened in the same in this case. The sandwich rule is that. So this is when you have a consonant like B, C, D, or whatever. After you have a vowel, for example, A, E, I, and whatever. And after you have again a consonant. Consonant. Okay? So, this is when you have a consonant, vowel, consonant. What is the thing that I try to say? This is when you finish with these kind of words. For example, you have the word sit. Okay? In this case, you have the word sit like this. You have, for example, yes, you have the consonant, you have the vowel, and you have your consonant like this. Okay, now what is the thing that you have to do in this case? When you have sit, the thing that you have to do is repeat the last word. For example, you finish with T, you have to repeat the letter T. So you have sitting. Okay, another example. This is, for example, the word cut. You have a consonant, vowel, consonant, you have to write cutting. And that is the thing that you have to do. So you have, for example, begin. You have to write beginning like this. Okay? Now, as I said you in the number 1, you have an exception. For example, when you finish with the words W, X, or Y, you can't repeat the last letter. For example, imagine that you have the word blow. If you write blowing in this way, it's incorrect. The correct way that you have to do is write it in a normal way, blowing. Another example is like you have fix. If you don't have to repeat it, you have to write fixing. And another, for example, when you have say, you have to say saying in a normal way. You don't have to repeat. And the last rule. And in the last rule, well, you have to add just the letters ing for the rest of the letters. For example, rest, you have resting. Okay, work, you have working. In that way. So you don't have to repeat any letter. These are the rules that you have to follow in the case of gerunds.